This video contains subject matter that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are the type to require a warning throughout a video or show, let this message serve as your warning. This channel discusses the harsh reality of true crime. If this warning is not sufficient for you, consider a different genre and unsubscribe from my channel immediately. I don't know what's going on. I can't get the dog camera on the screen on this my normal computer. Somehow it got disconnected. Somehow. Who the hell knows? The stars of the show aren't going to be here. It's crazy. Yeah. I wonder if it's like a firewall issue. I'll have to check that out. Let me look it up. Okay, let's see. Is that off now? Yeah, who knows? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I can't get the dog camera working. Normally it just works, you know, and it just isn't working. What happens if my flip phone one's turned on? Well, that wouldn't work. Let's see. See, that's not even working either. Yeah, I just think none of them are going to be working. That's wild. Oh well. Yep, that one should be working too, but yeah, I don't know. Something's weird going on my PC. Shit. I don't know what happened. Well, go back and watch the video from the day. Alright, so now we're on ending the first week on here. Did okay, you know, during the show today, but still didn't make it to a notebook one for 8 hours. So if you guys would like to help support the channel tonight, that would be awesome. Get over the hump. All right, but there's breaking news, or not breaking news, but in the murder case in Florida of the 3 teenagers, they made an arrest, and the sheriff says some, I think, great things, you know. So here we go.
First of all, I appreciate everybody being here. Now, we're here for two reasons. Because of a very extremely tragic incident that has occurred, but on the other side of the coin, a conclusion to that tragedy. As all of you are well aware, last Thursday, March 30th, we received a call near Forest Lakes Park, where our first victim, Layla Silvernail, was located suffering from a gunshot wound. She would later succumb to her injuries. The following morning, we responded to a location about a half a mile away and located a second victim deceased on the side of the road from an apparent gunshot wound. Then on Saturday, April 1st, my deputies located Layla's car abandoned and partially submerged in a pond about 9 miles from the location where she was found. My investigators located the third victim inside of the car.
Oh, weird.
And I'll go ahead and tell you, because you've been asking me for
Right.
specific details.
It's right here.
She was located in the trunk. Now, I want to clear up before we get into those details. Based on the interviews, digital evidence from her phone, she was there of her own free will. Now, I'm going to start off by thanking all of the entities.
I don't know if you can say like she's in the pond on her own free will, but
If there's ever a true example of law enforcement, communities,
hey, I don't care, Nacho. I do it the way I want to do it. Opening statements isn't part of the trial for me. I like it when the witnesses get up there. Okay, I know exactly what I'm doing. Thank you, though.
Coming
not
together.
interested in your thoughts, though.
and a almost perfect collaboration to come to a conclusion in a week on a triple homicide is truly amazing. Those entities include the FBI, FDLE, U.S. Marshal's Office, and, in my opinion, probably the best state attorney in the state of Florida for the 5th Judicial Circuit, Bill Gladson's assistant state attorneys. OPD, my deputies, detectives, forensic professionals, and our citizens, who are truly amazing. Now, this one's going to come a shock to you. That includes you, the media. You helped us of getting information. My emotions right now are all over the place because I am so proud of my guys and girls. I didn't do a damn thing, but they stepped up to the plate. And yes, you put information out there, and I'll admit this, you wore my ass out of interviews, you hounded me, but don't ever think I didn't use you as well to get the information I needed. Now, the investigators were able to determine that this group of juveniles were involved in committing burglaries and robberies, which they were referred to as a lick. Now, although
I got the what working? What do I have working?
we had out there,
Oh, I got close. You know what it might be? I set it to 4,500. Okay, let's do a timing thing right here. When I say 3 on, then you guys type in 3 at the same time. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Wow, you're still way behind. Jesus, like 20. Yeah, it's like 15 seconds.
there that was gang related. We have nothing specific to say that it was any rivalry or anything to such that cause. But however, each and every
Wow, that works pretty good. Now everybody send in super chats right now.
one of them, in some shape or form, is associated with a gang. Basically, Simple terms, there is no honor among thieves. And at some point, these 3 individuals turned on our 3 victims and murdered them. 2 of them right there. They fled the scenes, but left a lot of evidence in their wake. Through the cooperation of the agencies that I've previously mentioned and my office, we were able to begin compiling all of the evidence and finding these killers. Now, we were shocked and saddened by the violence, as all of my citizens, because we are shocked not only are the victims juveniles, but the murderers are juveniles as well.
Is it clear for you guys? Or hey, thanks, Alley Cake. Is it clear for you guys? Thanks, Alley Cake, Dina Tall, and Jimeline Edwards. Never seen that name before. Is that somebody you wanted to name?
I know each of you.
Their child Jim, but you were a female, so then Jim. That's pretty funny.
In the media here and viewers out there probably heard us in law enforcement or even in community events talk about what is the problem. And I'm going to go ahead and address the first thing that I know it's going to come up. Because there are individuals out there viewing.
I mean, this video here is blurry just in general, so it's not going to be clear. But
some of you media that want to blame the one thing
thanks, Laura,
that has no ability or the capacity to commit the crime itself. And that's the gun. These individuals committed the crime. Now, what's the solution? I wish I could give you that answer, because this world would be a whole lot better.
Thanks, Rebecca. Nap time.
But the fact is, society fails it. We do not hold our juveniles accountable.
Thanks, Admiral.
We minimize their actions.
See, there you go.
Let me tell you why I say this.
I mean, what this guy's saying on here is really the truth and important to listen to.
These individuals committed the crime. Now, what's the solution? I wish I could give you that answer, because this world would be a whole lot better. But the fact is, society fails it.
That's right.
We do not hold our juveniles accountable.
That's right.
We minimize
We've been saying
their
this
actions.
for a long time on the show.
Let me tell you why I say this. Last night, I had to stare into the eyes of 2 mothers. It's not their fault. Because what I saw last night was 2 mothers who are willing to give their sons everything, do everything for them, and give them their own lives. But just like you and I, no matter how much we teach them, because I am a father. I am a father, and I cannot fathom what they were going through. These mothers and mothers across this nation need all of your help. Because here's what infuriates me. I've got a particular media who has a problem with putting photos of juveniles out. Now, we do it what the law says we can do. Put these photos out. I put myself in the shoes of those mothers because I heard one of them say it. I wish I would have known what this one was doing and who they were, because my kid never would have hung out with them. And to think and believe to minimize any actions that is criminal of a juvenile is a disservice and, frankly, stupid to think. We need to hold them accountable. And then hope that we can change them.
Nah, these two guys there's no hope for these two kids here.
I'm not going to be able to give you everything because there is a third suspect that we were unable to locate last night. But however, you will receive, you may already have it, the probable cause affidavit that tells you the details of the events that occurred. I will tell you this.
If anybody can find that.
I already told you of the witness hearing the gunshots. That is when all three were killed. The suspect's affidavit that tells you the details of the events that occurred. I will tell you this. I already told you of the witness hearing the gunshots. That is when all three were killed.
They were killed at the same time, but then transported to different.
The suspects were in the vehicle. This individual, who is a juvenile also, is who we're looking for. Now, I'm talking to the viewers. Some of you know him, you know where he is, and you need to turn him in. Now, I will get him. I will find him, and justice will be completed. As you can imagine, my thoughts are all over this page right now. Fighting these type of crimes requires all of us to come together as a community. And Marion County stepped up to the plate. And we've been successful. Now, I know I've forgotten something, and I'm missing something, so I'm going to open up the floor to questions.
Any type of motive given?
Mentioned it. Robbery.
Sheriff Woods,
Go to her first.
I want to clarify. I know you said the suspects were in the vehicle, so are you saying all six were in there at one time?
Yes, ma'am.
And so the three individuals, the two that are in custody and this person, they turned on the other three in the vehicle, and that's how this unfolded.
That's correct.
That's crazy. Jesus.
Not going to get into too many more of those details because of the third suspect being out.
Sheriff Wood, Ted Williams with Fox News.
Ted Williams,
Did the
Jesus.
suspects and the three dead teens, have you been able to determine how long they've known each other?
Short time.
What a stupid question. I mean, what, I never liked that guy, Ted Williams from Fox News. I don't know why. I think he sucks. And I mean, what a absolutely ridiculous question. Hey, do you know how long the kids knew each other that were... I mean, what are you going to get out of that? The answer. Well, they've known each other for 2 years and 3 months. Oh, okay, because if it was 2 years, I would have...
Sheriff, you mentioned the gun. Do we know how the suspect got a hold of the weapon?
Car burglaries. Yeah. Ain't that right? All the gun laws we got in place didn't prevent it, did it? Neither will any new ones. Because here's the fact. The bad guy's going to get a gun no matter what law you have put in place.
God, who said that about a couple weeks ago? And I've said it many, and I've said it many times. Me. That's the thing. Yeah, I think he's terrible, Cindy. Yeah, he's terrible when he went down to the Idaho 4. I mean, absolutely god awful. And he's terrible. I mean, just every time I see him, he's just sort of this washed up, I don't even really know how to explain it. It's because I know half the time what he's saying is inaccurate. You might not, but I know because I've already looked, we're following the case. He shows up on the scene and then does this little same commentary all the time, right? But anyways, I've said it a million times that you can ban guns all you want and everybody can go turn them in, all the good people, but the bad people are always going to have them. Okay, and that's why stop and frisk worked, because I would do stop and frisk again, but don't have a criminal charge if they have a gun they shouldn't have. Just take the gun. Just keep getting rid of the guns from people, because you're a bad guy if you don't have you're not supposed to have the gun, right? So if they take the gun if you have a permit and you're supposed to have a gun, then you can keep the gun. But if you don't have a gun, then that means you were a bad person, but we'll give you a break. We're just going to take the gun from you. Wouldn't that be amazing? So why is everybody so nervous about, it's not fair, it's not fair? If they have a permit for the gun, they're not going to get in trouble. Do you get it? I mean, it's ridiculous.
These juveniles shouldn't even possess a handgun.
There you go. Boom. Yet they got them anyway.
But they did. Mm-hmm. And I'll go back to you. Add your question. A simple burglary, as some people will say, but I don't consider anything simple when it comes to a burglary. The law allows me, I'll plaster their face up on this page, up on my page, up on media. I will hand it out if the law allows me, because parents have the right to know who their kids are hanging out with.
See, here's the thing. It worked, right? Stop and frisk worked and lowered crime dramatically in New York City. But what happened was it was deemed to be like racist or something because, just minorities their guns were being taken and then they were charged. So I would get rid of the charging portion of it. Just take the guns from the people who shouldn't have them. So they should stop and frisk anybody at all. So I would include all races of people. It doesn't matter at all. If you see people kind of loitering around, hey, let me check. Let's check. Okay, just get rid of unlawful guns from people, and you will stop a lot of murders. Okay, you really will. But instead, we get these people whining and complaining because it's not fair and blah 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 blah. How about you don't have a freaking gun that you're not supposed to have? I mean, all this stuff just drives me crazy. Like when the cops tell them to do something, they don't do it, then they get shot because they're fighting. And everybody blames the cop. It's stupid. Do what the cops tell you to do. Don't do illegal things. And my God, won't this all be better?
And preventing this.
What did the suspect's parents say when you spoke with them about their arrest?
I personally didn't speak to them about the arrest. It was immediately after the interviews in which I talked to the mother.
Oh, thank you, Traveling Teresa up there.
But really, they don't have a whole lot to say. If you're a parent, put yourself in their shoes.
Traveling Teresa.
Holy hell. Panic. I'm scared to death as a parent. Embarrassed. Ashamed. What do you think they're going to say?
Sheriff Woods, do you know if these three juveniles will be tried as adults?
There's Ted Williams again.
All right, State Attorney's Office is reviewing that right now, okay? So I don't want to say yes and then it turn around no, then you'll end up calling me a liar at some point. So
What does kind of piggyback off that, so what does accountability look like for you? I know you talked about juveniles being held accountable for that.
Ted Williams. Does it upset you that crimes like this are happening? No.
I will
it's
refrain
fantastic.
an awful lot on that answer to this question, to the full extent of the law. Okay, don't take me wrong.
It's a terrible question, Cindy.
I might be hard on people, but I also have a heart. And I've already told you, I am a father. But here's the one thing my boys know. Growing up, the freaking barber had my permission to whip their asses. And not only that, when this stuff came up on TV, I pointed them. I said, you don't have to worry about the law coming after you. Full extent. Because they took a life. Are y'all comprehending that? They took a life without thought. They deserve
Evil
the
can never
full
be dead
extent of the law. And some of you, you make shit up.
Come in contact with victims before
Those are two different sheriffs other than Grady Judd.
previous incidents?
I personally haven't.
I mean, isn't that cool? Like, these are all three Florida sheriffs that I just randomly liked what they said. Here we go.
Evil can never be dead enough.
And some of you, you make shit up.
And
5 brain cells, 4 aren't working.
man, shouldn't the whole country have sheriffs like this?
But have we? Minimum contact. I can tell you right now. I know somebody over here had a question.
Sure.
Andy?
Do I understand correctly that the 3 victims were an active part of crimes prior to their death with these 3? Is that correct?
Thank you, Jessica Schuba.
I don't want to give too much detailed information, okay? But let me put it this way. My dad was a fireman. Always said, where there's smoke, there's fire, okay? Folks, don't ask dumbass questions. And Andy, I apologize. But really? Do I have to spell it out to you?
Yeah.
Minimum contact.
I'm going to have to get that audio there. That's just, oh, man. Hold on a second. Yeah, that's a new one. That's a good one. This guy's got a whole slew of them now.
I can tell you right now. I know somebody over here had a question.
Sure.
Andy?
Do I understand correctly that the 3 victims were an active part of crimes prior to their deaths with these 3? Is that correct?
I don't want to give too much detailed information, okay? But let me put it this way. My dad was a fireman. Always said, where there's smoke, there's fire, okay? Folks.
Chewbacca?
Hold on.
I'll be Chewbacca if you want me to.
All right, hold on.
Don't ask dumbass questions. And Andy, I apologize. But fire, okay?
Their deaths with these 3? Is that correct?
I don't want to give too much detailed information, okay? But let me put it this way. My dad was a fireman. Always said, where there's smoke, there's fire, okay? Folks, don't ask dumbass questions. And Andy, I apologize. But really? Do I have to spell it out to you?
Poor
What do you
Andy.
think they were doing? They're associated with a gang. And I've told some of y'all in interviews, gangs don't go to church on Sunday and then preach the gospel for the next 6 days.
Hold on, I got to get this.
Don't ask dumbass questions.
I'll just get rid of that space in between. There we go. And let's see how this sounds.
Don't ask dumbass questions. Don't ask dumbass questions.
I got to make it a little bit shorter.
Don't ask dumbass questions.
There we go. Yep. Effects. Amplify. Gray, there's no bad questions. They're all part of it, Gray. Yes. You're so mean. All right, here we go. Dumb ass questions. There we go. I'm just going to go ahead and add it to my soundboard here really quick. Let's see, 3, 4. Yeah, I guess page 4. That's too much. Let's see. Yeah. Is there any space on 1, 2, 3, 4? Now I got to do a 5 here. Play audio, and we'll go ahead and grab that clip really fast. Fast in my world. You guys might be bored stiff, and I don't really give a shit. It just is what it is, you know. Audio, dumbass question. There we go. Okay, we got it. We got it set up.
Don't ask dumbass questions.
All right.
They're gangs because they commit crimes. How simple is this idea? Where are we losing it? And I know we're going long, but this is my press conference, not yours.
Sure.
Yes.
If all six were committing crimes, do you know why the...
Wait, what did you just say there? That's
All right,
another
okay.
one.
Let's, folks, don't ask dumbass questions. And Andy, I apologize. But really? Do I have to spell it out to you? What do you think they were doing? They're associated with a gang. And I've told some of y'all in interviews, gangs don't go to church on Sunday and then preach the gospel for the next 6 days. They're gangs because they commit crimes. How simple is this idea? Where are we losing it? And I know we're going long.
Sir, do you think it... I know you're talking about upsetting things. Do you think it's appropriate if we pass out bunny rabbits to people who might be triggered by these kinds of things?
But this is my press conference, not yours.
Sure.
Yes.
If all six were committing crimes, do you know why the three turned on the other three?
I can't divulge that. I wish I could tell
That
you.
was a good mug question.
I'll tell you when we get this one. Okay?
Thanks, Jim Long.
I want to tell you everything. I really do. And since day one, I've wanted to tell you anything. They have had a leash on me like you wouldn't believe.
I know, he said this is my press conference. That's what I was waiting for. I gotta hear it again.
I don't want to give...
Okay,
They're associated with a gang. And I've told some of y'all in interviews, gangs don't go to church on Sunday and then preach the gospel for the next 6 days. They're gangs because they commit crimes. How simple is this idea? Where are we losing it? And I know we're going long, but this is my press conference, not yours.
Sure.
Yes.
If all six were committing
sounds like
crimes,
me.
do you know why the
I don't give a
three
shit.
turned on the other three?
I can't divulge that. I wish I could tell you. I'll tell you when we get this one. Okay? Listen, I want to tell you everything. I really do. And since day one, I've wanted to tell you anything. They have had a leash on me like you wouldn't believe. Next. Let's get somebody new.
Do we know the timeline of the three victims in terms of how they were shot? Was it all at once? And then...
Hold back. You heard the bosses.
Do you know how they were apprehended?
Well, you're the boss. You're the sheriff.
How were you able to catch up with them?
Do you want? Go ahead.
The one subject on the previous photo, Rob Robinson, was in custody already at the juvenile detention facility. And the Christopher Atkins.
Already in custody? Like he did something so quickly?
So they weren't on the run or anything.
Okay, cool, man.
But they even
Thank you.
surprised to even see you show up.
I'll get back to you later, okay?
Yes. They were very surprised we showed it.
Are you able to make any statements as to what they said?
I'll leave that to the sheriff.
No, you'll get that eventually. We told you he was in DJJ. He was arrested by OPD
That
the
was
next
me.
morning after the murder.
J. Hugh. All the rest, other than the first one.
In an affray at the school. Oh, that's what I call a light bulb coming on right there. Remember I just talked about minimizing and holding students accountable? Our school districts, not just here, I'm not going to point out just mine, school districts across this state and across this nation need to quit minimizing the actions of their students. Hold them accountable. That's where the failure is.
Do we know where the last suspect was seen?
Florida is sort of like a model for how we need to be in the entire country, in my opinion.
We're going to hold that one.
If you like all the bullshit going on in San Francisco and Portland, then you probably don't agree with me. But
All right. Some of that I'm not going to answer. Some of it I will.
Think how great
The
our
one I
country
will
would be
is
if we had everything that, like, look at Florida knew exactly what was going on in the pandemic from the beginning. Okay, we all thought, oh my God, the vaccine is going to keep us from catching it too. You have like 90% of not even catching it, and then, man, it didn't do that at all. They already knew that, man. They knew that you couldn't shut everything down. We'll give you these different antiviral stuff, and we're going to do this, but we got to keep on moving. Their law and order, even though there's crime there, they take crime very seriously and don't allow it and allow people to protect themselves over there. And it's just kind of the way it needs to be everywhere currently. All right? They absolutely prospered and got through that, and the whole country could have done exactly the same thing. You know, that's the sad part about it. We took this massive hit financially for our entire country because of incorrect information. And, you know, it's not just one. I mean, the incorrect information started early on when, you know, like you'd hear stuff from Fauci saying, yeah, if you get the shot, man, it'd be 90% protected from even catching. And it doesn't do that at all. It doesn't even keep you from catching COVID. It just makes it so that you can fight it when you get it. So it's just all that stuff was absolutely ridiculous, how it shut down the country. And then now in Florida, they have these incredible police officers. I mean, look at, all I can say is, how come there's 3 sheriffs in Florida that are all similar like that, when you don't have any sheriffs that you see anywhere else that sound anything like these guys? It's crazy.
the 2 confessed to shooting.
Yeah, there was no shutdown in Florida.
Our 3rd victim in the trunk. I'm not going to answer that one.
Yeah, I mean, look at here's what happened. Tons of people lost their job. The government started giving money to everybody to just stay at home and do nothing, and we created a bunch of lazy MFers in our society who just sit around waiting for that damn, continuation of the checks. There's tons and tons of jobs available right now, and good ones too, if you want to choose something that you wouldn't have thought of doing before. God, I mean, I don't know about you, but I mean, I was pretty busy during the pandemic. I still did the shows every single freaking day, and did the my other job. It's crazy.
I appreciate your questions. You wouldn't be doing your job if you didn't ask. Any others?
Sheriff, is the 3rd suspect, does the public need to worry about him?
No, the community doesn't need to worry about them outside of, I want them to find them. That's what they need to worry about, is locating him for me. And they do. If you ain't ever watched my Wanted by Woods Wednesday, that's successful, and they find them.
Yeah, everybody keeps moving over there.
I'll allow one more.
I understand why. Yeah, well, they even take care of those well, don't they? I mean,
no. All righty. Thank you.
Yeah. The thing is violent crimes and robbery, violent crimes, assaults, all that stuff just absolutely need to be, people will get put in prison for a long time. Like stealing, maybe not quite as long, but it should be a lot longer than it is, because it ruins people's lives. It's just, it's not cool. Oh, I only stole the car. Why'd the guy shoot me? Well, because you stole his car. I mean, who the hell are you? Nobody owed you the car. I don't know, man. I can't stand. I just don't understand the other way of thinking at all. It just doesn't even make sense on any level. It's like this kumbaya sort of, yeah, it's just reimagining how it should be. Yeah, it doesn't even make sense logically. It can't work. Let me see what Fox News said on it. Said, oh, he put his, he ran for president today? Yeah, I mean, the thing is I want Ron DeSantis to be the president of the United States. Okay? I know that, you know, I think Trump had his chance. He did things, and there's just, it's too much. He has a very good chance of winning the nomination, but I think very little chance of winning, where I think DeSantis, because he doesn't have any, he's very similar to Trump in some aspects, but very different in other aspects. I think he could win. You know, that's the thing. But Trump has a very easy chance to win the nomination because he keeps getting, he'll get the 35%, the 30%, the 30%, the 30%, all the way through, and it'll wipe out. And then what'll happen is you'll have too many people running on the Republican side, splitting the other votes, and then Trump will just keep loading up on the 30%, the 30%. You know, over and over and over again, and then when it gets to the end, he'll have more of the, and he'll get to be the nominee. But if you just had two, Trump and DeSantis, I think you'd have a way different, it could be really close. Yeah, that's what he always does, things that are, you know, a lot of the stuff is just invented and twisted what he says to mean something. But I just feel like I think there's people in there that would even vote on the left Biden back in again just if it was Trump. You know, they would be like, oh, forget this. That's the sad part. What are you talking about, easily distracted? You seem easily distracted. You almost sound like an idiot. I have no idea what you're talking about. What have I said tonight that was bigotry whatsoever? Can anybody point something out? Has there been anything that I've said tonight that had anything to do with bigotry? Go ahead, type it in. I have not seen or heard anything at all that I've said anything like that at all. Go ahead. Come on, easily distracted. Do I have to unblock you? I guess not. Go ahead, easily distracted. You seem easily distracted. I think your name's perfect for you. You probably were watching something else, came over here and forgot where you were because you're easily distracted. Makes sense. Oh, easily distracted up there said, your true bigotry comes out. What in the hell are you talking about? What a fool. Let's see. Collier County, Naples, Marco. DeSantis is a hero. I think DeSantis has been amazing in Florida. And I love some of the stuff he says sometimes. You know, like he says it like it is. I mean, I don't know what he's talking about. But, you know, that's where the trolls, they don't really care. They just say whatever they want to say in their head. And then it just you know, like a mental vomiting from the mouth. It's just strange. And notice how they haven't come back yet. They're just still gone. Because they realize, oh shit, I was in the wrong place. No, it's not. He did not lie on his resume. Jesus. See, the sad part, he's even asking the question makes people think, oh, is he the one that lied on his resume? No, it's some guy that ran for Congress. I forgot his name. Do not know. What are you looking for?
Where's it go?
Maybe they're outside. God. Let's see. Yes, he would bring both sides together. I know what she said, Cindy. That's not accurate. I would hate, let's see, in Florida. Anyways, I'm not sure where the, what that comment was, so I'm going to go up there and find that again and block the person from ever coming here again. Absolute moron. All right, see you later. All right, Florida authorities have made 2 arrests in connection with the killing of 3 teenagers in rural Marion County. March 30th, the Marion County Sheriff's Office arrested 2 juveniles whom, look at that, just 12 years old, and another is 17. Is that crazy? With in connection with a triple homicide. I would charge the 12-year-old and the 17-year-old and never let them out of prison again. That just means they'll get worse and worse. A 16-year-old suspect is at large. There are individuals out there viewing who want to blame the one thing that has no ability. Yeah, we already saw that part. That's a picture of him right there. The mystery began March 30th when MCSO deputies responded to the area of Forest Lake Park on Southeast 183rd. I don't think this is accurate right here, this way they have that mapped out. It doesn't match what the descriptions that were given in the news at all. I mean, they gave specific addresses, and one of them was right here, and they don't have that on the map up here. So that should be somewhere like down in this area in here. Anyways, it looks kind of similar to the press conference, I guess. Mm-hmm. Okay, now we're going to move over to the Cash App. See this thing right here, right there? That's what I use on my golf cart. You actually pull the wheels out and then you attach a regular golf cart that they made these adapters for, and then you push this button and then it has it's electric. It's crazy. But hold on. All right, thank you, Cheryl Bullock. Well, that's Bullock, right? So I've only got 3 notebooks left right now. So if anybody wants one of those, that'd be great. But it might take a few weeks to get the next box filled with them. But if you want to order one, you can get them. But I was thinking of making one with blue on the front. And then what if I had blue borders instead of red on that one? You know, for blue. I don't know. I'm not. Red and black are kind of the normal colors, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Blue borders, maybe, or? Yeah. So just put like blue and have blue in there. I think it'd be kind of cool. Maybe somehow have a blue pen. It doesn't write blue, but the colors. I only have red Freak pens remaining as well. So but they write black. They're just red color of the pen. Is that Ice Ice Baby? Yeah, that's him right there. Ding 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 ding. Oh, that'd be cool. Okay. Well, hopefully you guys get him if I get it. Now all of a sudden, Alley Cat says red. Well, you're left in the dark, Alley Cat. The members who voted are ahead. Didn't you win a membership yesterday, and all of a sudden you're still red again? What do you trade it to somebody, or? Yeah, I don't know if they don't do 3 colors. Sorry. I like the natural color. So what it looks like is on this one right here. Just a second. Wow, it's big. But anyway, see this one right here? It's like remember how that was the tan color? So this is this notebook here was supposed to be red on the border there, and then that regular sort of natural color there. But so anyways, it'll be blue maybe if they have it down here, and then blue, black here with I don't know. Shit. I'll have to take a look at it, see what it looks like. I mean, then you would think that maybe the coloring should be blue for blue, right? The actual sketch of blue would be blue, and then the outline blue, and then on the natural color. Oh well. Okay, suspect or witness. Shadowy figure is seen wheeling away suitcase and searching through flower beds seconds after Bob Lee 43 lay dying yards away in startling CCTV footage. A mystery bystander is seen prowling the scene of slain tech mogul Bob Lee's stabbing and wheeling away a suitcase. We showed it yesterday how he was injured and dying outside that building. The suspicious figure wearing a hood or hat and dressed head to toe in black can also be seen searching a flower bed. Cops have declined to say whether the stranger is a potential suspect or a person of interest in Tuesday morning's murder, or whether any items such as a suitcase were stolen from the Cash App founder, 43 years old. And so there might be an ad on this. So after this ad plays, we'll get to see it. So apparently he just got killed just down the street from there, and maybe those are his suitcases. So is that the person? I mean, I think it is a male. It looks sort of like a female when you look at this picture. I don't really know 100%, but in a minute there's other footage over here where they're standing over here and it feels like they're male, but they could be a female. So maybe they just saw the bags sitting there and took off with them. Maybe they're even like a homeless person. Let's see. Father of 2, Lee relocated from San Francisco to Miami last year because he was worried about the West Coast city soaring crime rate. And guess what? Guess what Bob was doing? When he moved to Florida, he probably voted in the same people who would put in the same crap that he left. See, that's the part I hate. I guarantee it. When he went over there, he voted for the Democrat running, who probably had this really soft on crime appeal there. Oh, yeah. So here he goes. He leaves San Francisco, moves to Miami, then he goes back, and then he gets killed. And he left there because of the crime, but I guarantee it, he probably, if you lived in San Francisco, you probably have a certain person you vote for, right? Because that's why you live in San Francisco. I mean, same thing as downtown Portland. But hopefully people are changing their minds a little bit. Or the politicians that are in your party start to change their opinion. Maybe more like a Manchin type, or sort of the regular people that actually give a shit. He returned on a business trip and was attacked at 2:30 a.m. while walking through the Swish Rincon Hill neighborhood, where residents have become so wary of violent robberies that they pay for private security patrols. The video, provided to DailyMail.com, reveals Lee, chief product officer at crypto firm MobileCoin, staggering along Main Street and trying to flag down a passing car at the intersection with Harrison Street. When the motorist shockingly drives off without helping, Lee stumbles 70 yards back down Main towards the Portside luxury apartment complex, but collapses as he reaches the door entries. Let's see if we can see what this looks like. The weird part is I think people are so entrenched with their own system, like, oh yeah, I've always been a democratic liberal, so I get really offended when somebody brings up something that I actually probably agree with, but I can't agree with it philosophically because I get angry because it was anti what I've always believed in. That's the part that people got to get over. You got to think to yourself, do you really want to live in a city where somebody said, defund the police, let's reimagine the police, and start letting people out of jails and prisons early because give me a break. How about don't commit crimes and let's get back to a civil society? I'm sorry I'm feeling the way I am right now, but I just am. I'm so sick of this whole thing. It drives me insane. Let's see, he's the Cash App founder, Lee. Freaking sucks, Alright, where is it? Yeah, let's reimagine police. Boy, that's a great idea. What a bunch of morons. Are you kidding me? God, it's embarrassing as hell. Let's see, let's get to the... Okay, product out crypto. When the motorist shockingly drives off, Lee stumbles 70 yards back towards Main, towards Portside luxury apartment complex. Alright, let me get that on there. Now that's in... Is it here? Portside. Oh. It says Portside right there. I don't know what that means, if that's the right one. Passing car. When the motorist shockingly drives off without helping Lee, stumbles 70 yards back down towards the Portside luxury apartment complex. Is this Main Street down here then? Yeah, that's Main Street. So that's probably it then. Because that's Main Street, so probably right here. Go down to the street. Yeah, so maybe it was right around it. Maybe there's a front over here. This is Main Street though. So it said, when the motorist shockingly drives off without helping, he stumbles 70 yards back down Main Street. So if that is where he was, then maybe... God, what's going on with this? There we go. Port side 2. Is there a port side 1? And that's just 2. And it says port side 2. So maybe it was over here. And let's see if we can determine where that other picture was. The video. Check pan. Oh, that was the other one, other video. I was looking at this. Is that right? That's not just right there, is it? This is February. It's hard to tell how tall these buildings are, but well, it looks like maybe that's it right there. Oh yeah, that person was right here. There we go. He was walking, that's where he was walking across the street. I mean, look at. Can you see that? Here, let me try to make it so you can sort of make this out. Yeah, so see right there is right here, then that little black window right here, and there's a bench right here that you can see right there, and then even looks like it's so recent that even that little construction thing is still sitting there. And here's a better way to do it is I've actually done this before. When you look, see these little crosswalk areas here? Sometimes you can find it and look at it, and it even has the same markings on it. Let's see. So you got, well, yeah, I think it kind of, yeah, I mean, you can see this, see that little pavement work they're doing right there? That's right here. So there's the pavement work, and then you see, you know, like, I don't know, it's hard. Well, I don't know how. It's hard to see these two stripes there, except it has to be. Yeah, they might have come in and done. When was this taken? This one, this street view here is. It says February 23rd, so they've been doing construction here. Let me pan up here. That digital reality. I think, I don't know, maybe the lights turn on, but you can see that shape right there. That's the same as this. And then that pops out. So this is the right spot. Does it say do not block? You can't see that. Harrison, and that says Harrison. So okay, yeah, so we got the right, we're in the right place here. So this is where the suitcase person all right, and thank you to Renee H. Yeah, so that does make sense. So the person would have, if he was right in this, and they say 70 yards, let's figure out how far that is from the entrance right there. So 70 yards. If I go over to yards, go from here to there, what is that? That's 40. That's 70. Man, so is that where it was? I mean, that's crazy. If that's really where it was, because then it's right there, because it said 70 yards back down Main Street, and that puts them right there, almost exactly where the person crosses the street there. Yeah, I think they walked over this direction. So if he was attacked right there, and then you see this person with a suitcase walk across this way, it could be that he was attacked, and he walked away and left the suitcases there because he wanted to try to save his life, and then this other person picked it up. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Oh, you don't like that guy? I like that guy. I think he's just saying exactly what needs to be heard by the people. You know, I mean, you could call Grady Judd like that same way, right? You could say that he's also arrogant and rude because they actually know what the hell they're talking about. That's the difference. Let's see. I think it was mean when he shouldn't have told that one guy that, Love him probably because we need more like that. Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. I like the way he spoke to people. I mean, you often use colorful words referring to people, the way they look and everything like that. So, I mean, it's just kind of like, and I'm not awesome all the time myself, but it's just people, you got to be authentic to yourself, right? So, what is the right way to talk to people? That's something to wonder about. What is the right way? Should you be honest or fake? That's the thing. You don't think he was trying to get his spotlight in the media? Who? No, he's always been out there. Yeah, he maybe took a little advantage of it, talking about the guns and everything like that. I don't know. I mean, I don't think he's anywhere. I don't think he's like on the same level as Grady Judd or something like that. I think he's kind of, he's just is who he is. I don't think he's as good as Grady Judd. I mean, he's kind of in a league of his own. Because Grady Judd can say the same things that guy said, but maybe like Zozo was saying, he says it in a way where it's not quite as, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, everybody likes Grady Judd better. I don't think there's anybody that doesn't like him more. Alright, let's see. Yeah, people like to be coddled, and everybody has great ideas, and everybody's awesome, and just trophies for everyone mentality. I don't. All right, you guys, we're having one of those slow nights again. Is it the politics part, or what is it? Okay, because we're not even, for the full day, we're not even at a notebook. 8 hours, and then another hour so far here, so 9 hours, struggling to get to where we used to be in 3. Yeah. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go to the... I'm just going to go to the live show from earlier, and we'll just play some parts. And yes, I use I use it trial day number 3 because I don't really look at opening arguments. To me, it's just sort of like, oh, you're saying something, and I don't know. I just never have done it that way. Like I'll say opening arguments and then day 1 of the trial, because they always have they don't even start doing witnesses that day. Either that or we'll just have to toss myself in prison right off the start of the show. What do you need the auctioneer for? Hit the like button, 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 hit the like button.
You're out. I'm 25, 30, now 5, I'm 35.
Thank you, Ashy Snow. Man, soul crushing. The whole day on there. The hell is it?
Are they fair and accurate representations as to what you saw that day?
Yes.
At this time, I'd move for admission of.
See, I don't want to listen to any of these people. The only one I want to listen to is those ones at the end. The two different. Where was that?
Free ocean wave, snowflake.
I don't see. Oh, Terry Ann put me in prison. Oh, too bad, you guys. Too bad. I want to listen to the two women at the end. And that is when we get the hell out of prison. 5 to 4. What happened? Yeah, unfortunately, my dog camera is not working on this computer. Not sure what happened or anything like that. Just it's not working. Thanks, WNC Granny. Fail. So we've got 6:17. That's another hour and something. If I had played at 1:25, well, if we get there. Yeah, I'm always being mean, Kelsey 206, aren't I? I mean, that's just kind of the standard. I think there's a lot of people that the way they talk is kind of rude. But it's only when other people sound that way that it's rude. So there you go. Hey, WNC Granny and Kelsey 206. Sneak us some hooch. You want jail hooch? Why would you should sneak me in some. Anyways, thank you, WNC Granny, Kelsey 206, and Holly G. And we'll get the hell out of here. Okay, so we're going to play this. This is one of... What's her name again? The daughter. Harley. Now watch. 10 people type in Harley, even though I just said it within 5 seconds. Gray, they're just trying to help. Thanks, Traveling Teresa. Oh, and Jim Long. Oh yeah, don't forget the
Hey, Allah, hey, Allah, oh, yeah.
Listen, I'm trying to talk here.
Do you want to?
Oh yeah, this is pretty funny. I'll tell you what though, I think human beings can...
Thank you, may all be seated.
Oh my God, you guys are already back. That's absolutely incredible. Me and who was it? Yeah, me and Eugenie were talking about eating. What was it?
Some hooch.
Let's see. It was Cheeto paste off of keyboards. It was awesome.
20 CR 1358.
Absolutely
Record should reflect
phenomenal.
the jury's
He's
not
back
present in the courtroom.
already.
Is there anything we need to take up outside the presence of the jury at this point in time?
There you are.
Defense? Okay, let's go ahead and bring the jury in.
Are you talking to me?
guys planning on leaving everything in here over the weekend? It's going to be
No,
long.
I'm not.
so it
I was
should
just
be
talking to
ready.
Eugenie. Can you hold on? Can you
I'm
hold
sure
on?
we'll leave
Hey, Judge, hold on a
something
second. I got.
Okay, but I
Now
know
listen,
you guys
when
did a really
Eugenie
good
was.
job of cleaning stuff out of here Wednesday night. So,
Hello.
um,
Was it over here? Okay. Maybe it was in here.
this case with anyone else. With that, all rise for the jury,
When were we
please.
doing the Cheeto? Was that in the break that one time? I gotta hear that naturally now. Hey, thank you, Simple Life Days. I think it was during this break, right?
This case, is there anything else?
No, it is. It's like I started figuring you should challenge for myself. I'm like, okay, where's my... Let's see if we can get home without it. Usually I don't make it. Presently, though.
Chloe.
It wasn't earlier. I'm gonna get slow.
Oh, okay.
I'm feeling about the I really appreciate it.
The full move for you.
She's funny when she just falls backwards like that. Don't you think? What was that? She gave me like a right cross punch. You see that? Isaac. Julie. Stupid, mundane shit. He didn't think on his feet. Like my New Balance shoe in the background, yeah? You know what I'm saying? His testimony was... or maybe it was a question. Yeah, they are comfortable. But Kelsey German, or Siebert now said that only old people wear New Balance. So somebody suggested to me, so I bought some baby New Balances and sent them to her. That's right, everybody. Come aboard, we're expecting you. It makes me want to sing that every time. Every time I hear it. Might actually. Thanks, Deborah. Here we go. I just want to hear what this... I think it's in this part, right? The Cheetos. Jack and Jill went up the hill, each with $1.25. Jill came down. Jill came down with $2.50. Ooh! I won't finish the rest of it. I think it should play that on the screen. Let's see. Thank you, Deborah. Blue's up on the sofa. Wow. Okay. Oh, there it is. Haha, the Chewbacca. No, was it Deborah? Well, I was looking at Deborah on the screen over here. That's funny. I gave her credit over here. That's hilarious. That was on the... yes, Blue, we see you there. That's funny. He's the Sofa King.
She's not going to be safer, so if you're down right now. Oh, I push on eventually. Oh, I think just it's like changing. Yeah.
Look how tired Blue looks there. Oh, what, that guy that would tell the jokes? You mean War Nuke? Yeah. No. He was, Little Boy Blue, whatever the hell his name was. Yeah.
That's great. I'm not crispy.
I'll give him a snack. See, he usually grabs the first one really aggressively, but he knows it was too much, so he gets cautious.
Ain't Trader Joe's real expensive though?
No, they're not at all.
Really?
You haven't eaten the spicy hot Cheetos. Oh, here we go.
Cheetos. I guess it's smart.
There we go. Unbelievable sandwich.
Really?
Every time, yeah, really, exactly. When you take a bite of it, it tastes. Yeah, I'm gonna rewind it to get back. I want to hear how it started. Come on, you guys. This will be funny. You're gonna hear the Cheeto conversation. It was a good. Blue's been around way before. I mean, way even before I was live streaming. But he's always been part of the show since like 2018. Those are good. That's a good image of him right there. Maybe I should go get him a treat. What do you guys think?
Bring any candy today, Will.
I know.
But I did the vegetables.
That's right.
And then I have to drop the sugar candy. I could go like a.
We have two.
One more crust.
No, I ate lunch. Oh, those are good.
They are good.
I did that, but it still makes me
Never done.
crust.
Bittersweet they are.
I agree. I'm not crispy.
He knew he grabbed that too quick.
Where was it damn?
Yeah, it's not this but Trader Joe's have them.
Ain't Trader Joe's real expensive though?
No, they're not at all.
Really?
You know what happens when you sell? You know what happens when you sell a building for $1 million?
You turn around and buy a house.
That's from earlier. I was hoping that was on this show. I keep putting these people into the spin. These now.
Drive me for dog treats.
I'll adopt you. Yeah, I'll adopt you. You making olive oil cake? You making olive oil cake?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What was it that was bragging? Was it indoor?
Really what?
No, she was like, holy shit, she brought in this and that, and it was like so good. She was like,
That doesn't work when you just type in really.
yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
Indoor. Probably
Thank you, Manchester.
It's done a lot.
Vicky.
We haven't printed it. But isn't it always crazy there? Because they don't start with Trader Joe's.
They can talk about the same crap we do in the background. You know, during the breaks. Oh my God! Yeah, I went to Trader Joe's today. Boy, I had the greatest sandwich I've ever had in my life. Have you ever had the one with turkey and Swiss? It's unbelievable. Have you ever heard of the ham and Swiss sandwich? It's absolutely incredible, Cindy. Unbelievable sandwich.
Really?
Every time, yeah, really, exactly. When you take a bite of it, it tastes, you know, like majestic. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's unbelievable. Especially when you combine it with a few potato chips or maybe even some Cheetos, if you like. Yeah, the Cheetos are a little bit messy when you try to get back onto your laptop later. You might have to dust it off in the morning, much like the hairspray that you put on your hair to cover up your baldness. But you might have to sweep off the Cheeto dust off of your laptop when you're done doing it. You know, when you're done eating the Cheetos, you might notice a slight dusting of Cheeto dust on your keyboard. Now, we have products out there that can remove those very same Cheeto dust particles. Okay, it looks a little bit like slime. What you do is you spread the slime out all over your computer. And some people asked, does some of the slime get stuck inside the keyboard? And I have to say yes, that does happen, but at least you got rid of that orange dust-like material that comes off the Cheetos. Now, when you suck on your fingers after eating the Cheetos, it creates this sort of orange paste that sticks to your fingers, and that's where it gets a little bit more troublesome, where we... Come on, this was funny as hell at the time. See, I can just fill the airways with absolute garbage like that, you see? It's easy, you just ramble on, man. I'm just one of those guys. Just one of those guys sharing a conversation. Yeah, those fire hot Cheetos are really pretty good until you have to do number 2 the next day in the toilet, and that's when you jump up in the air when this burning sensation happens. I know that's TMI, but for those of you who have eaten the spicy hot Cheetos, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And for those of you who haven't eaten the spicy hot Cheetos, think twice before eating an entire bag of those things, as the expulsion of the material from within your body doesn't feel very good. And look at Eugenie. She doesn't even eat the Cheetos. What she does is wait for anybody else to lick the fingers or just eat Cheetos and put it on the keyboard, and then she'll just take the keyboard and lick it clean for whoever that was. So I think that's a new service that Eugenie has just invented, where she can, she'll go to your house for free to clean the Cheeto dust off of your keyboard by licking it clean. It's absolutely phenomenal. She's going to be starting a YouTube channel where you're zooming in on the tongue, licking off the Cheeto dust from the keyboard.
I have bought rabbits at the county fair and kept them as pets. I know, we had one, his name was Keenan. They tattooed.
I think that'd be an absolutely incredible channel, Eugenie. Like ASMR meets mukbang. See, they were even laughing at my joke too. It's crazy. Jeez. Well, that's right, man. Wait, so let me ask you something. Do you just dump the bag of Cheetos onto your keyboard and just lick it clean? I mean, that's amazing. I don't know what you're talking about, Ellen. It was just during a break. You know, there's like 30 minutes you got to sit around with nothing. But I thought it was pretty funny. So if you were there, it would have been funny. But if you weren't there, you're going to be jackasses and pretend it's not funny. Okay, but you had to be there during the time. But you know, these are for the people who actually took the time to listen and hang out on the show all day. Pretty soon you're going to go over to Eugenie's house. She'll have like a Thanksgiving dinner with keyboards instead of plates, and she'll be putting the ham and all the rest of the meats just straight onto the keyboard, and using their own style of just chewing it right off the keyboard. It's going to be an interesting night there at Eugenie's Thanksgiving dinner. She'll pour the gravy right into the keyboard, and with the techniques they've learned over the years, they'll be able to get that gravy right out of the keyboard. All right, let me see if I can get...
were you familiar with a young lady by the name of Harley Hunt?
That was just about ending right there.
Yes.
How did you know Miss Harley Hunt?
So we worked together at Massage Envy, and then we'd occasionally go to Bible College. JANINESANCH.
Him, please. You swear affirm the testimony about to give in this man will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Go ahead and have a seat in the witness stand. Please watch your step as you step into the stand.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Will you please introduce yourself to our jurors and spell your first and last name for the record?
Yes, my name is Janine Sanchez, JANINESANCHEZ.
Ms. Sanchez, I want to just do some preliminary stuff with you. You live here in Colorado Springs?
Yes.
And I'm going to talk specifically about January of 2020, so 3 years ago. Where were you living back in January of 2020?
In Lorson Ranch.
No, this is one of Harley's friends.
Were you familiar with a young lady by the name of Harley Hunt?
Yes.
How did you know Miss Harley Hunt?
So we worked together
She looks similar to
at
Harley,
Massage
though.
Envy, and then we'd occasionally go to Bible study together.
Are you similar in age with her?
I'm about a couple years older than her.
Okay. And you said you worked at Massage Envy. Did you both share the same type of job, or did you have different jobs at that employer?
We were both receptionists.
Would you see each other often at work?
I think this is Harley right here, right? Isn't that correct? That's her, Harley Hunt. I mean, she's very pretty as well. I mean, she has an Instagram page. I think that's her, though, if I remember right. I think she looks just like that. I mean, she's obviously 3 years older than from before, but I remember like this one. I think this is around the time here. I remember these ones are older. You know, so it's almost like she just unfortunately has a shitty mom. You know what I mean? So.
I would say, depending on the shift, yes.
Okay. And then you mentioned that you would sometimes go to Bible studies together. Did you ever hang out any other times outside of work besides those types of gatherings?
No.
Okay. Did you have each other's phone numbers?
Yes.
Would you sometimes text with each other?
Yes.
Would that include potentially sending jokes, memes, TikToks, that kind of thing?
Yes, we would send TikToks to each other.
TikTok is quite controversial these days, isn't it?
Yes.
How would you describe Harley's demeanor?
She was very nice.
Was she social or was she shy?
She was both. She was shy at first, and then once you got to know her, she was more social.
Would you say she had a positive personality or a negative personality?
Positive.
Bubbly or angry?
Bubbly.
Okay. Was she nice to people or mean to people?
She was nice.
And then how would she interact with customers that would come into Massage Envy?
She was really nice to them.
Was she professional also?
Yes.
Speeding it up a little bit.
Had you ever been over to her house?
No.
Prior to a specific time that we're going to get to in just a
1.5.
moment, did you ever have an occasion to meet any of her family members?
No.
Okay. At some point, did you become aware that her younger brother was missing?
Yes.
I'm not asking you for what was said, but did you actually get a text from Harley regarding that specific incident?
Yes.
Do you remember working with her on Wednesday, January 29th?
It was a long time ago, so I don't remember exact dates.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to help you orient yourself, and it makes perfect sense. It's over 3 years ago. We've had previous testimony that Gannon went missing on January 27th, which was a Monday. And then did you talk to a detective in this case?
Yes.
Do you remember talking about the last time you might have worked with Harley with that detective?
Yes.
Okay. And if I showed you that report, would that help you remember what day that was you were referencing last seeing Harley?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, may I approach the witness?
You may.
In,
I actually wonder if they're going to. I mean, what's Harley might have a bigger role here. It's weird how they just keep
I'm
talking
showing
about
you
that.
a police report. I want you to look at this last paragraph on the page and read through it and then tell me when we're done.
This.
That paragraph, yes.
I mean, I wonder what this is interesting.
Yes.
I
Does
saw
that
the
refresh
flash.
your memory as to the last time you worked with Harley?
Yes.
What day was that?
The 29th.
Was that Wednesday, January 29th?
Yes.
What was, again, not asking you for any statements that Harley made to you, but what was Harley's demeanor like on that day?
She was a little frantic. Just not her usual self.
Do you remember telling the detective whether she was crying or not?
Yes.
And was she crying in your memory?
Yes.
Okay. At some point, were you with Harley and picked up Harley's mother from the hospital?
Yes.
Tell the jury about that. Again, whose car were you in?
We were in Harley's car.
Who was driving that vehicle?
Harley.
And what seat were you sitting in?
I was in the front seat.
What hospital did you go to pick up her mother?
I'm not sure the name, but it's somewhere around here in the downtown Spring area.
Memorial Hospital, does that sound correct?
I'm not sure.
That's okay. So, but you're just remembering it as a downtown hospital
could
somewhere
hear him.
fairly close to where we are now.
Yes.
Okay. Can you describe as you're in the car with Harley how she was acting then? Was she still acting like she was crying or upset?
No,
How was she acting now?
just normal.
Okay. Do you remember talking to the detective about how she was acting?
In the car? Or-
Yes, while you're in the car with her at the hospital?
I don't remember.
Okay. Do you remember the Harley's mother getting into the car with you?
Yes.
Did Harley's demeanor change when her mother got into the car with you all?
No.
Okay. Do you remember talking to the detective about her, about Harley acting timid and overwhelmed at that time?
Yes.
Was that different than when she was crying earlier?
Yes, she had kind of calmed down a bit in the car versus earlier when she was crying.
Okay. When Harley's mother got into the car, I may have already asked you this, so if I did, I apologize. Where did she get into the car?
In the back seat.
Okay. So did that mean that Harley's still driving, you're in the front passenger seat, and mother is in the back seat?
Yes.
Was she sitting behind you or behind Harley?
In the middle.
In the middle, okay. Do you remember telling the detective anything about whether Harley was quieter or louder than normal during this car ride from the hospital to your house?
Well, we definitely weren't talking for the car ride. It was more just quiet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember telling the detective that Harley was quieter than normal?
Yes.
Okay. And I think I've already asked you this in an implied way, but this time that you're now seeing Harley's mother, had you ever seen her before?
No.
Do you see her here in the courtroom?
Yes.
Will you please point her out and describe what she's wearing?
Yes. Pink shirt right in the corner over here.
And you're using your right hand to point over to my left over here?
Yes.
All right, ask to the record to reflect that she's identified the defendant.
Record will so reflect. Go ahead.
How would you describe the defendant's demeanor or actions when she got in the car?
What do you mean by that?
Well, how was she acting?
It was my first time meeting her, so I can't really describe how else she would be acting, but I'd say normal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So not doing anything out of the ordinary?
No.
Okay. Do you remember her making any statements to you or just to anybody while she was in the car?
No.
Do you remember talking to the detective about her getting into the car?
Yes.
Do you remember telling the detective that the defendant apologized for having to stay at your house?
Yes.
Do you remember talking to the detective about the defendant's demeanor in the car?
No.
How she's acting?
No.
Okay. You don't remember that at all? Do you remember telling the detective that the defendant was acting weird?
No.
Okay. Do you remember a specific statement that the defendant made to you when she got into the car?
Yes, I do remember that one statement.
And what was that one statement?
Just jokingly how she was joking about saying, basically, hope you don't think we're a bunch of murderers.
So the defendant said that to you?
Yes.
Did you find that to be weird?
Yes. But other than that, the demeanor wasn't weird, just that one statement.
Okay. So she wasn't acting like she was losing her mind or anything like that?
No.
Do you remember whether the defendant started using Harley's her cell phone?
Yes.
Tell the jury what you remember about that.
I was in the front passenger seat, and her mom was in the back seat. Harley's mom was in the back seat, and I remember her taking her phone, like Harley's phone, to the back and kind of texting people. I'm not sure who.
So what you remember is that Harley had her phone in the front seat?
Yes.
And then the defendant, did she reach up and take the phone from the front seat?
Yes.
And how did you know that she was texting using Harley's phone?
Because I was there when she took Harley's phone in the back.
Okay. I guess, could you hear the keyboard clicks or anything like that? Or how did you know that she was sending texts?
She made a remark saying, hey, can I see your phone real quick?
Okay. She being the defendant made that
Yes.
comment. Okay. Did you get a text from Harley's phone while the defendant had Harley's phone?
Yes.
Did that seem odd to you?
Very.
Why was that odd?
Because we were all in the car together, so there's really no point to be texting when we were all there.
And what did that text say, if you remember?
Not sure exact wording, but basically if her mom could stay as well.
Did that seem to you to be then that it was almost like Harley was asking you if her mom could stay with you at your house? That's kind of a confusing question.
Yeah. More that Harley had originally asked to stay over and then later on asked if her mom could stay as well.
Okay, but really it was her mom asking on her own using Harley's phone if she could stay.
Yes.
Did that seem weird to you since you're sitting right there and it could have been verbally said as opposed to texted?
Yes.
Do you remember a particular time when the defendant said something about turning off location services?
Yes.
Tell the jury about that.
It's been a while, but I remember that they had turned off Harley's location service basically on her phone.
Okay, so let's dive into that just a little bit more. Is this while the defendant has Harley's phone?
I do not remember.
Okay. What does location services mean to you?
Just basically seeing where someone's at based off of Google Maps.
Okay. Do you remember the defendant making a statement while holding Harley's phone that she was turning off Harley's cell phone location services?
I do not.
Okay. If I show you a report, would that refresh your memory?
Yes.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
You may, go ahead.
Yes.
Just read this over.
Do you guys want to try to do the active shooter situation going on? There's one in Norman, Oklahoma. We could try it. I mean, we could listen to this too, but you can always go back and watch I did a whole show. You can just go to that same section. It's right around the 6 hours and 29-minute mark and watch it. Maybe we could check that out. What do you guys think? I gotta get it so that we don't have this kind of lag anymore. I hate it. Can't stand waiting 30 seconds for a response. Hey Tosh, how's it going? Okay, let's do it. So you guys maybe you're gonna have to help feed stuff because I'm not prepared for it, but I'm gonna switch over and then I'm gonna change out the thank you, Tosh. Alright, let me
Hello,
change
Grey
out
and lovely
the
freaks. We'll be on replay crew tomorrow. Hit that like button,
I'll
hit
just
that like button, hit that like button.
get rid of the cash out part at the end. Put the Oklahoma shooting. Yeah, there we go. So I just changed the title, not the thumbnail, but the title of the video. Let's see, what do I do here? Okay, there seems to be an active shooter at the University of Oklahoma campus. School tweeting a notification warning of the shooter Friday night. The University of Oklahoma sent out tweets tonight warning of an active shooter on its campus and that they are investigating shots fired. In a tweet sent out at 9:24, the school stated there was an active shooter at the Van Fleet Oval. So we'll go ahead and put that in there. Van Vliet Oval, right? Is that like a, is that this thing? Let me just type in Van Vliet. Van Vliet, oh there it is right there. So that's the spot. 7. Okay, so we got that there. Let me hit the save button. Oh yeah, so let me get the, hold on. Get Broadcastify up there really quick. I'm sure that's the top feed, no doubt about it. Browse feeds, top one, let's see. Top feeds, yeah, that's Oakland, Cleveland, Oklahoma. There's 51,000 people listening to this.
We're 97.
At 20, Oklahoma City.
Adam 20, go ahead.
Okay, the building has been cleared once. There is no indication of any activity. You're going to clear it again. Stand by for further.
So is it something that didn't happen?
Adam 20 was clear 313.
The one time we switch over to something?
Additional information had multiple calls at multiple sites this evening.
That might not be that building.
Clear on multiple calls at multiple sites.
313-1.
Okay, 30 on 6 traffic.
830, okay.
I don't know if there is or not. They might be in the wrong building.
Any gunshots as they've been here. We have 2 teams entering the library to clear it a second time. As of right now, we have no shots fired, no victims. We will clear this building a second time.
313 was clear.
Yeah, 166 City. Be 10 8 route to normal.
166, okay.
Active shooters announced.
Into it on our website, opcfox.com. We're live in City, Colorado, Fox
24 So you're pretty far away then, huh, Teresa?
Tiger 5-1, they're GOA.
I don't know what the deal is. I'm just saw it mentioned in the chat, looked online, it seemed like there was some articles already popping up on it, and thought, well, shit, maybe that's something more important now, right at the moment.
Adam 20, go ahead.
Yeah, at this time, have further resources, any additional resources, just report to the staging area. We are in the building. All floors are covered.
Adam 20 was clear. 2214.
What are you sorry about?
Lincoln 40 units on scene. These guys are holding a perimeter
She
right
said
now.
she just lives an hour and a half away. She went to school there at one point.
Marion County units are on the northwest side of this library. And you got troop stays all the way around and Norman on the south side.
Like, I live an hour and a half away from University of Oregon. And if somebody was shot there, I wouldn't be like I wouldn't need somebody to apologize to me or something. I went there from 85 to 88. Man, that's a long time ago. Shit, I'm old. Now, staging area is just where they, you don't want everybody just all over the place. So you have one main location that law enforcement sets up, as a command post and everything.
Baker Street on headquarters, both units can be 1085. Everybody's gonna go inside and go to sleep and call it a night.
Okay.
Norman, what? Norman, Oklahoma? Oh, so it's right there. That's just right down the street, yeah. If it's something. You're just talking about right in this area, huh? Look at all these images that people put in. Ooh. Whoa.
Inside 21 engine for medical 4033 Green Hills Drive 4033 Green Hills Drive at HP 36. 21 and 4 respond for medical 4033 Green Hills Drive 4033 Green Hills map HP 36.
20 Norman, 20 should be ahead of that call.
Yeah, that's the one.
I'm sorry, 20 Austin.
I need to get that audio to wake you guys up.
Lot 10X North.
Headquarters 13, okay?
Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully it's not even real, Teresa. You didn't say that you had a kid that went to live right around the area. You just said you went to school there at one point and lived 100 and something miles away. Yeah, you live 2 minutes from U of O, Oregon. Yeah, there's all these other U of O's, University of Ohio, Oklahoma, and there's other OSUs like Oregon State, Oklahoma State University, Ohio State University.
31320.
Hey, thank you so much, Kit Kat.
Go ahead.
Just a few minutes out. Where do I find you?
I ate a Kit Kat the other day.
Harrington is going to be the command.
You know, I did do that.
You can slow it down.
Linda Molden Howe's UFO.
On Brooks Mill. Just to the west of the library.
215.
Hey, 215, go over there with 648.
That sounds like Derek.
215.
You hear that? I hate the Huskies. I did. They kind of got shitty for a long time, but when they back in the 80s, they were always like a powerhouse. But I remember when the Oregon State Beavers went there and beat them. That was sweet. Yeah, that UFO is pretty awesome, isn't it, Kit Kat? All right, so let's see. What are the updates here? Anything on Twitter?
Hi, Dr. Christopher. I'm clear.
So there's different officers. Van Fleet Oval on the University of Oklahoma campus in Normal, Oklahoma, with reports of multiple victims. Huh.
Radio trouble.
Well, who's reporting
the building
this crap?
For 1021 as soon as possible.
Clear.
Yeah. So at least police got there really quickly. Let me check my email. Maybe somebody sent me something. Hey, thanks, Vicky. Hey, Vicky, do you want a notebook? There's 3 left. If not, I mean, you can wait for one of the new ones if you want. But she sent a Cash App in.
I'm joking, you're good.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, Robert 2 on headquarters. You can show me 10-8 advised. He doesn't know the guy, something to do with his ex-girlfriend, but he doesn't want to prosecute.
That's a different one.
Okay. Robert 2-2 and Vega 5-1 will show you today as well.
So there you go. I guess that's the, those are all the lights from the cop vehicles, police vehicle there. Let's see if we can determine how they're looking at this. I think it's that way. Yeah. So that's about right down in here, looking back that way. See this building with the little thing that rises, and this one. It's right there, and this one. So you're down in this area. Let's see. Probably if you go right down here, yeah, I mean, you get the. Let's try to. I can probably even find the camera. So the camera is right back. Right off of probably this building right here has a camera on it. Let's see. If we looked up in the air.
Okay.
We've walked around and spoke to everybody. They've got all the corners blocked.
Clear.
And what year was this? That was just 4 years ago, so we don't know.
You show me 97.
Probably something they put up later,
where you want me?
but it's filming right over the top of that. You know, it appears to be that building.
Apparently in the library right over here.
That's even older. 2008.
So far, all your rooftops up here. All your rooftops up here.
No, good, Teresa. You buried the lead of your story, Teresa.
Show me 97. I heard you.
Teresa said, "Oh yeah, I live 150 miles away, and I went to school there at one point." And later, she tells us that her kid's right there.
4-4, Ida 3, Lincoln 3. Come link up with 1902. We all stand by in case we need to clear out the building.
But of course, I could have missed an original comment. You know.
You want to 10-9 your location?
I'll meet you at where all of our units are at, and I'll take you out from here.
Okay, what's clear?
Yeah, all the different U of O's out there.
Junior, so no. You can go ahead with that call.
Oh, there goes my stomach.
Clear. Gonna be at Terry's Market. On a male subject that is wearing a white, blue, and gray shirt. RP advised he's yelling on the phone in the parking lot after being in a fight. The other party that was involved has already left the scene. Will be in a later model silver Dodge SUV. RP does not want contact.
Myself and 421 p.m.
Who cares, Nikki Zibs? I already said that. Jesus, man. Every night, some other kind of comment. let's see.
'97 in the area.
Okay, 2226.
No. Yeah, so way up there. Right when I switched over. She said, yes, cover it. My son's in Norman. Then way down.
Same traffic.
Same traffic clear.
Just
Where's the reception already
right
there?
there. It's right there. Right here. It's 8 comments up. It wasn't 5 minutes.
It's gonna be the white, blue, and gray shirt.
They haven't found anything. Possible shots fired on Norman campus. Turns out it was just somebody popping balloons. Hmm.
313 City.
313, go ahead.
Bearcats 97. We're going to move to the north side of the library.
.313 clear.
If you could contact the Chief Norman, let him know that one's here.
That's in your own mind, Nikki. Let's see. Right there. You're probably so far on rewind
Engine
mode
4,
that you
MSAT
missed
40,
it.
respond on a medical call. 2204 Northeast 10th Street. Engine 4 and MSAT 40, respond on a sick call.
So they're
2204
probably over
Northeast 10th
here
Street.
now.
Time is 2229.
I mean, who are the people that made the calls? Why don't they get a hold of them again and say, so what are you referring to?
Okay, we'll be there in about 2-3 minutes.
Clear. Headquarters 1 City. Advise Carlton and that other Bearcat to just hold short of Boyd Street. Just park where the traffic starts right there and just hold right there. And I just turned on the Elm. Be free to fight your way all the way up here to command.
Yeah, well, you watch the garbage channels, Rebecca. So the
Clear.
problem is when they're swatted, it's just because they're amongst other garbage. That's the problem. Yeah, all the drama-ish people, the
Got off
ones
the
that are
phone
just
with the
kinda-
duty officer. We're 1022 and any more response. Go ahead and broadcast that. And I can't get out to CRCC. If you would let them know, we need to
I
go
guess
ahead
the
and
closest
broadcast
I've
that
been to being
for any
swatted
units that are
was
still coming in hard.
pizza being ordered and delivered to my house. That's not
Okay.
even close. It's just they sent pizzas to my house that were, I don't remember if I was supposed to pay for them or not. Yeah, well, why would a homestead channel get swatted? Does that make any sense?
4 is on scene, 10 command.
check on the south side.
Almost 2 minutes.
OU is going to check the south side of the building for shell casings. You might relay to Norman. You guys check the north side.
That's crazy, Jen. So you're going to look for one of the... Have they tried anything with the genes?
237, no check 1.
Like so your own immune system battles it? You know, that's actually what the RNA vaccines are. And it's a technology that can use to fight.
000-930, let's say Murphy.
I don't know what that means, Rebecca.
Oh, well, that'll be in just information. There will be an open call for Signal 20.
That's right, yeah. Well, I gave tips to the people that showed up, and they just gave us the pizza anyway. Like I just was like I gave them the tips for the pizza because it sucks for them. They show up and they don't get a nick. They're just, you know.
Go ahead.
It's going to be a typical runaway. 701 Southwest 17th Street.
Yeah.
Oops, that's one. To Norman. Please start 21 to Norman.
Looks like a bunch of confetti from a party popper or some sort of canister over here on the northeast side of the library. There's confetti all over the ground.
I'm clear. If you'll just continue to check, verify that's all you've got out there.
Yeah, I'm clear. Yeah, there's red and gold confetti everywhere over here.
Clear.
Same part of the list.
Emergency 10:30 p.m. Continue to investigate, avoid South Oval area. Continue sheltering in
Clear and
place.
valid on last of Murphy. There will also be an open Signal 20 call.
So they say they don't need other additional resources, so they can't
We're
find
clear.
whatever it was. Put PayPal link where? You just type it in the chat, I think, like that, and then it shows up. See that? They're right there in the chat.
Clear, it's going to be at 1004 Claystone Drive. I'll be advised that there was a male subject, that there's going to be a subject that climbed over the fence and got into a possible Honda coupe. No further information on the vehicle or subject, stating it might have possibly been a teenager sneaking out. Went towards Highway 77, but could not advise the direction of travel.
I want them to hurry up and do it. Then we can get back to what we were doing before. If it turns out it's nothing, yeah, that or I'll just make it a shorter. It's been a long day again.
Please.
Push them back all the way to the perimeter. Tell them they can't come in.
Check. You said for we're not going to use any information about possible assault that occurred. He is contacting somebody to come get him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody wants it to be real. Looks like the cops are heading towards us. I can see them right down here.
They're running in between these two buildings. I
The
told them to stay on the other
flashlights,
side of the big flashing lights everywhere.
Yeah, they're all walking this direction. It is Friday night too, right? Where pranks happen.
59. I'm 1097 here in Normal.
I heard they're putting a delay maybe on tearing down the Koberger.
59, okay.
I mean the Idaho 4 student house.
Young Corey, go ahead.
To the Cherokee Nation, Charles Zebra 8275. Go ahead and start Lampkin's record.
Well, it's either side. If either side doesn't want to, then they got to keep it up. Yeah, everybody put out positive vibes for Jen H up there. Awesome person, you know, struggling with some health stuff, but you know, she's out there battling away.
To
so.
Norman can stand down at this time. All units who are not currently 97 in Norman can stand down at this time. Authority 13.
Forty on scene.
Clear 40 on scene, 2239.
See, they're all walking right here, these cops. They're probably just going to clear it pretty soon. Exactly, Lisa. An active shooter that isn't active. I blame it on LM. I'm just kidding. She is. KK. I can tell you that. Maybe I need to have that spooky music that I had. Hold on. Maybe not that one. I think it's this one. What's going on on the University of Oklahoma campus?
Where's the incident commander?
Cops are everywhere.
Side of the library.
What are they finding? All I have to do is use the headlines that some of these sensationalistic YouTubers put on their thumbnails. Is Letecia Stauch a barbarian? Watch my video.
It's 10:30 Norman. We'll be moving up towards the OHP vehicles. Just stand by.
Okay. Go ahead.
It puts me in a trance. This music.
Units will be back 10-8. Search the area. There's no sign of anyone walking or another vehicle.
Clear.
41 en route.
Clear 41 en route.
I think you already have, but just make sure you broadcast or like it is that's normal.
Yeah, affirmative. I have, and the city has on our channel too. Roger. Break. Wanting all units en route to the Norman, to the false flag computer. You get 1022. Authority 13 and 59.
We're ready, Joe.
That's crazy.
As well as a Ford, roughly 2002 pickup, correct?
I forget it. If it re-breaks again, let me know. Okay.
Just email too.
All right. Let's see.
The ox levels at 79 and
Yes.
heart rate is 105. Your
Yes.
dispatch code 6 Delta 4.
So do you remember the defendant making a comment about turning off location services?
Yes.
What did the defendant say about that
Just that she was turning off her location on her phone.
on Harley's phone?
Yes.
And do you remember her saying because she had to?
Yes.
And then what did the defendant do with Harley's phone after that?
After turning off the location?
Yes.
I believe she still had her phone.
Okay. Do you remember telling the detective that she then passed the phone back to Harley?
I do not remember.
Okay.
Sorry.
If I show you the report again, would that refresh?
Yes.
Okay. And I know this has been a long time, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
Did that refresh your memory?
Yes.
So after the defendant turned off Harley's cell phone location services, do you remember the defendant passing Harley's phone back to Harley?
Yes.
God, I hope so, Brent. Those people get paid a lot of money.
Do you remember while you were still at the hospital, the defendant making a statement about evidence being found?
Yes.
What did she say about that?
She was just kind of talking about how they thought they had found evidence on her.
And then also, did she mention finding evidence at the house? Do you remember that?
I do not.
Okay, if I show you the report again, would
Yes.
that refresh your memory? Okay. You're just getting my steps in.
Sorry.
Getting his steps in. That's funny. I used that same comment earlier.
Yes.
Do you remember the defendant making a mention about there being evidence found at the house?
Yes.
But
What did
Rebecca,
she
people
say
want
about
people
that?
to read the book.
Just about like the carpet
I put 'em
situation,
to sleep.
how there was like a fire with the carpet.
Okay. Hold on just a moment. And again, I'm not asking you for any comments from Harley Hunt at this point, but did the defendant ever say anything to you about why her and her daughter wanted to stay at your house?
So Harley was just wanting to stay at my house because she didn't really feel comfortable at her own house. I'm not really sure why her mom wanted to stay at my house. With the whole texting thing, that was kind of odd, but we were already at my house, so I just let them both stay.
Was it strange to you that both Harley and her mom were now staying at the house as opposed to just Harley as originally arranged?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Did it make it even more strange that this is also at the time that Harley's young little brother was also missing?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Oh, wait a second. Good question. How was her behavior, the defendant's behavior, at your house?
Really, we just walked into my house, talked for a little bit, and then I let them get settled in the living room, and then I just went upstairs.
Okay. So you have a 2-story house?
It's technically a 3, but the basement's unfinished.
Okay. So is your bedroom upstairs?
On the 2nd floor.
And then
Technically the 3rd floor.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then where did they stay, Harley and her mother?
On the 2nd floor, when you first enter the ground level.
Okay. Did you hear any strange noises the night that they stayed the night there?
No.
Did the defendant do anything out, that didn't make any sense or loud or anything like that?
No.
Did she act as if any other house guest would act while she was there?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Cross-examination?
I don't have any questions.
Thank you,
for this
Ray.
witness. Thank you.
Live
All right.
thanks.
Do any of the jurors have any questions for Ms. Sanchez? No? All right. Thank you, ma'am. You may sit down. Watch your step.
Oh, that was over here on the screen. Man, it's freaking me out because I keep getting super chats on the earlier 8-hour stream, but not on the current one. So I'm almost putting their names on for the spin, but there isn't a spin at this point.
Prosecution, call your next witness, please.
Maybe we should turn it off.
Good afternoon, Judge. We'd call Nicole Mobley. Just going to cross Nicole. You guys want me? You want to do this?
Ms. Mobley, if you would step forward and raise your right hand, please, ma'am.
You're just going right up to that.
Right there is fine for right now. You swear from the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Go ahead and have a seat in the witness stand. Please watch your step as you step into the stand.
Yeah, she was on there for a while.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I didn't really like her.
I'm okay. How are you?
You're a little nervous, right?
Just a little bit.
It's okay. You're not the only one, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, so I didn't really like this person that much because to me she was just sort of like this nosy sort of. I don't even believe that she intentionally asked questions over the years. Maybe later when the FBI, maybe was reading Letecia's comments. Oh, wow, you're communicating. Hey, we think she has something to do with it. Can you change the wording? I think early on she was trying to be, she just wanted to be involved, and then she cries on the stand a few times as if she's a family member. It's really pretty bizarre, to be honest.
Could you please introduce yourself to the jury and spell your first and last name?
Nicole Mobley, Nicole.
I always call it like virtue signaling crying. Like, look how much more I cared than you all. So I'm going to cry, even though I'd never met Gannon or knew anything about him at all. I'm going to pretend that I really am devastated.
Mobley.
And Miss Mobley, where do you reside?
Morrison Ranch.
May I approach you, Honor?
And apparently KK just sent me that the University of Oklahoma campus has been cleared as of 10:35. Safe to be back out.
Me?
I'm going to show you what's been introduced into evidence as People's Exhibit 4. Recognize this at all?
Yeah, it's my neighborhood.
Let me see if I can get this easy over here. We're going to put it on the easel here, and I don't know if can you still see it?
Yeah.
And I don't need you to be precise, but can you just point out the general area of where you live, if you can see this in People's Exhibit 4? Here you go.
Oh, she's a neighbor.
I'd be over here somewhere.
So for the record, you pointed to Mumford Drive in between Tarbell Drive?
Yeah, I'm on Decker, but the school's right here, and my house would be like over in the section kind of by it.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
It's got way too many. Thank you, Shelly Ann.
2 years?
there you
No,
go.
I'm sorry. That's way off.
It's depressing me listening
3
to
and a
my
half, almost 4
earlier-
years.
So you were living there back in January of 2020?
Yes.
And while you were living in that neighborhood, did you have an occasion to meet someone named Letecia Stauch?
I did.
And tell the jury about how you met her.
So I think the first time I had posted a thing on our neighborhood page, I was looking for clothes for my niece that just moved in with us. And I had got a message from a Harley Hunt, is who I thought I was speaking to. And then they offering some free clothes for us.
Hit that like
and
button.
when the person
Like
actually
button.
showed up to my house
Like
to drop
button.
off those clothes, it was Letecia.
You talked about a neighborhood. How did you describe it? Was it a Facebook page?
Yeah, we have a lot of neighborhood like Facebook pages that are just for people in the neighborhood. I don't know if I put it on the residence page or like one of the for sale pages, but it's just everybody in the neighborhood.
And I know you're a little nervous, but only one of us can talk at a time. She's typing everything we're saying, believe it or not. And so if you could just wait until I'm done and I'll wait till you're done. Okay. We'll do the best.
I mean, so the thing about her is, I don't really even understand what the whole point of this is, because they already know. I mean, Letecia admits that she killed Gannon, and so like, you know, I mean, this didn't really prove anything other than her buying into somebody else's story or something. It's kind of weird.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So someone named Harley Hunt responds to your page. Is that what happens?
Responds.
Yes. I assumed it was Harley Hunt.
And did you then make arrangements for them to come by your house?
Yeah, to come drop them off at my house.
Okay. So tell us about that. Did someone come by your house?
Yes, Letecia came by my house.
And what happened when she came to your house?
She knocked on the door. Initially, she was just supposed to leave him on the porch, but I ended up being at home. She knocked on the door. I opened it. She handed me the clothes, and we had a conversation.
And do you see Letecia Stauch in the courtroom today?
I do, yes.
Could you point her out and describe what she's wearing?
She's sitting at the end of that desk in a pinkish purple shirt.
Only female seated at the defense table?
Yes.
May the record reflect identification of Ms. Stauch, subject to cross-examination.
The record will still reflect. Go ahead.
So what happened when the defendant came to your residence?
She came to the door, handed me the clothes, and then we just had a conversation. It was a little weird. I didn't know her. I had never met her before that. And I was kind of off put first because I thought I was meeting a Harley Hunt. And it obviously wasn't, but she didn't introduce herself as to who she was. And it was just kind of weird because I didn't know her and she was kind of just talking to me about life stuff. And like we had been best friends. Okay. So it was a little off-putting, but.
And do you remember about when this may have happened?
It was right before Christmas, probably December 20-something. It was before Christmas of 2019.
So it would have been December 2019?
Yeah.
Was it the Christmas before you later learned that Gannon went missing?
Yes.
Okay. And so was there anything unusual about this initial contact other than it seemed like she was spilling her guts to you?
No, not really.
Okay. Did you have more conversation with her?
I did. She wrote me later on telling me she had forgot a pair of pants. That was just nothing. The next time was a couple days later on Christmas. She had sent me another message.
And what was that message about? Do you recall?
Yeah, she said that she was going on a work trip, that she worked for an airline, and she needed to go to a training, and had asked if my teenage niece wanted to go over and basically watch the house, but also hang out with her teenage daughter.
And so did you learn that she had a teenage daughter when you initially met her at your house in December of 2019?
I kind of put it together considering she wasn't Harley Hunt, and that's who I was that was the name of the person I was messaging, and she kept saying my daughter in those messages.
And did you have a teenage daughter?
My niece was a teenager.
Okay. And so did the conversation come up back in December 2019 that, hey, maybe your niece and my daughter could get together, that kind of thing?
Yeah, she said that her daughter Harley didn't really have any friends because she didn't go to school here. So she needed somebody to watch her house and help with the dogs, and that it would be maybe a good way for them to kind of hang out too.
Okay. And did that ever happen?
I didn't feel comfortable with it because I didn't know her and I wasn't sending my niece to somebody else's house.
And was your niece living with you at that time?
She was, yes.
All right. When was the next time you heard from Miss Stauch?
The next time I heard from her, or the next time I had any communication?
Well, either. Had you talked to her, let me just ask it this way. Had you talked to her prior to Gannon being reported missing?
No.
So it was just...
Or not that I recall. Sorry. I don't think so.
And so, how did you learn that Gannon Stauch, her stepson, went missing?
There was a post on one of those neighborhood pages saying that... I don't remember exactly what it said. It's been a long time. I just remember there was a post that went up saying that her son or stepson didn't return home from a friend's house and basically asking for help if anybody had seen him or could help find him.
Okay. And so prior to seeing that post, had you and the defendant talked about the defendant's family situation, who was living in their house, how many kids and that kind of thing?
I don't, not that I remember.
You only remember her talking about Harley, the teenage daughter?
I remember when she was at my house that first time, that weird conversation that we kind of had was talking about weird things, just like, I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. No, because I do remember. So when she was asking if we would come and stay, or if my niece could come and stay at the house, she had mentioned her husband works nights and is in the Army and is gone a lot. She mentioned Harley because of hanging out with my niece. And then she mentioned, I think it was the little girl, talking about her going to Grand Mountain, but I think that's it. I don't remember hearing anything else.
And when you say talking about weird things, what do you mean?
I just mean, I didn't know her, but she kind of talked to me like I knew her. And just being frustrated at home life. It was a very short conversation. It was just, I think to me the reason it's weird is because I know them and like I should know what they're talking about.
So was it like, wait, too much information here?
Yeah, kind of. And I'm used to, in the neighborhood, we do porch drop-offs. So you don't usually have to communicate with the person. They drop it off and leave. I'm not a very sociable person when I'm in the comfort of my home. And it was just kind of, thanks, have a great night kind of thing. Not, I want to stand on the porch in the cold for 20 minutes.
All right, guys. I think I'm gonna call it a night. It's 9 o'clock. You guys can go watch the this on the 8 hour
Gotcha.
show. You go to about the 6 hours, 44 minutes and 30 seconds mark. All right. So thank you to let's see, Ashley Hansen, Allie Cake, Dina Tall, Jamaline Edwards, Jenna P, Jim Lon, Dobby Mississippi, Laura L, Rebecca Naptime, Eugenie, Teresa Murray, Adniram, Traveling Teresa, Jessica Schubach, Traveling Teresa, Jim Lon, Cheryl Bullock, Renee H, Ashley Snow, WNC Granny, Kelsey 206, Holly G, Traveling Teresa, Jim Lon, Simple Life Days, Tosh, and Kit Kat. All right. Yeah, it's not really worth it to, I mean, I spent 8 hours there, 3 here, and it's, wow. All right. So I don't really, there's not going to be a spin or anything like that. So thank you all for being here tonight. We'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to try to go golfing, do something different. And I'm going to have to rethink doing the whole these 8 hour shows during the trial. Just doesn't, it's not working because it affects the later show. So it's kind of like the same situation. So I don't know. We'll think about it. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, I don't sell it in the store. You have to send a PayPal for $25, and with your address, then I ship it. Yeah, I didn't think that lady had any meaning whatsoever. It was almost like, oh, look how cool it is, how sleuthy, But anyways, we'll see you guys later, and as I always say, everybody, until next time, be safe out there. Thanks, mods. Thanks, everybody who supported the channel. We appreciate it. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, plug rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Gregel's gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector on his pector. With all respect, y'all, just remember I've a temple fucking checked ya. I have no agenda, I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody, talk to you later.